Well, when you find that the electrons are not landing where you think they would land, which would be just aligned with the two openings in the barrier, but instead are landing in all these different locations, you're forced to come up with a new description of what an electron is and how it moves. And through a lot of soul searching and a lot of difficult analysis that required people to give up conventional ways of thinking about an electron as a little tiny dot, people began to realize that you should think of it like a wave. Because it was known that if a wave passes through a barrier with two slits, what happens is little waves are generated at each of the openings, and as those waves continue to travel, they overlap. Sometimes they overlap and the peak of one crosses with the peak of the other, making a big wave. But sometimes the peak of one wave crosses with the trough of the other wave, and they cancel each other out. And that gives rise to what's called an interference pattern. An interference pattern actually looks just like the data. Places where the wave lands, places where it doesn't. Places where it lands, places where it doesn't. So we were forced to think about an electron as a wave. A wave of what? That took a long time to figure out, but it's a wave of probability. That's where probability comes into quantum mechanics. Think about an electron moving in terms of a probability wave. Where the wave is big, the electron is likely to be. Where the wave is small, the wave means that the electron is unlikely to be there. And where the wave is zero, the electron will not be at all.